How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today's video it's not all about the alcohol unless that's all you want it to be about. Now, what I'm talking about here is that, you know, this is a big journey that we're all going through. There's many reasons why people want to stop drinking, to get alcohol out of their lives primarily. But it's because either alcohol is causing them pain or because alcohol is stopping them from doing something. And even with that, it's causing them to have unnecessary pain, right? So, you know, everyone has to ask themselves, maybe you have this already in your head, maybe you don't, but you have to ask yourself, what is it exactly that you're trying to get out of your life in general? You know, where is it you want to be? What is it that you want to do? You know, if you didn't have any problems and money was no objective and there were really no blocks to you moving forwards in your life, what is it that you would want to do more than anything else? You know, what would you like to do for your job, in your relationships, spiritually? Look at all these different areas of your life and ask yourself where it is that you want to go, right? In a year, 5 years time, 10 years time, you know, at the end of your life, what is it that you want to be remembered for? By your family, by your friends, you know, by the people around you in general. So, you know, I always try to get people to look at this and forward focus their minds from the very beginning, because, you know, quitting drinking alcohol is just the start of this. It's only the beginning thing that you've got to do, right, in order to take that next step forwards. I do so many different things in my life now and try and change my life in general, but specifically because I'm 5 years away from stopping drinking alcohol. So, you know, a lot of the things that I'm talking about now, I can relate to you know, what it was like to quit drinking alcohol, because, you know, all change is change, right? The same principles apply. So when I'm talking about quitting salt, you know, trying to cut down on salt, quitting caffeine, you know, trying to get rid of all the things in my life that are not as big as alcohol, but there's still something there which is holding me back, or it's a negative influence in my life. You know, all these things can only be pinpointed once you've got rid of the big things in your life, right? Once you've started to deal with those things. Because if you've got huge things like drinking a lot of alcohol, that's going to affect everything else down the line, right? I'm not talking about down the line in terms of time, but down the line in terms of your physical health, your mental health, you know. So you've got this big thing over you. All those other things in your life don't matter, because you know, too much salt in your diet, unless you're eating a lot of salt, right, is not going to really affect you as much as this big thing, right? Too much caffeine in your life is not going to affect you as much as this big thing, right? So you have to really get over that first thing first. You know, one of the things that I think one of the big mistakes that people make in quitting drinking alcohol is they think that their problem is unique, right? That their specific issue with alcohol is unique. That quitting drinking alcohol is unique, right? It's the same thing as quitting picking your nose, right? Or biting your nails. It's just on a little bit of a different scale. Sometimes it's a lot more of a different scale, but we're only talking about scales here. It's all habit. It's all looking at things through that same perspective, right? It's looking at things with the same principles in mind, right? When I'm talking about these principles, I'm talking about bringing the habit, you know, all these habitual behaviors that are part of this one habit of drinking alcohol or taking any other drug or watching too much TV or procrastination. These are all things that are going to hold you back, right, from being the person that you want to be, right? You have to take the habit, the subconscious parts of this habit that have become subconscious over the time, right, and bring these subconscious parts to your conscious awareness, because you can't change them if they're not up here in your conscious awareness. Then you have to apply your willpower. You know, willpower is a dirty word these days, right? Not a lot of people want to talk about it, and not a lot of people want to acknowledge that it's there, but you do need willpower in the early days, right? You need to you don't need a lot of willpower. You know, it's not you're not relying on your willpower, but you do need to have that power over your own will. And that's the type of willpower that I'm talking about. Is you have to be able to say to yourself, no, I'm not doing this today, right? I'm moving forwards. I want to get to tomorrow, right? I want to get to 30 days from now where I can say, I've done 30 days of this and I'm going to move to the next 30 days. You have to have your power over your own mind. It's all going on up here. The conflict is inside here, right? Inside your own brain. You know, that's where the conflict of your willpower is. That's where you have to enforce your own will over yourself, basically, right? And you have to start off with a certain commitment. So that's another principle. You have to start off with a 100% commitment. Now, as I've said before, that 100% commitment can change over the course once you start moving into this. And I'm talking about changing in the sense of that it becomes more concrete, it becomes more, it's there, it's more in tune with what you're doing, right? It's more in tune with your experience now. So once you've got off the alcohol for a month, you've got more experience with it, and your commitment is based now not only on your willpower to do it, I have to do it, but it's also based on the 30 days that you've just gone through, and that's given you a lot more commitment to the next 30 days because you know that you can do it. You've got more confidence in yourself that you can do it, right? So you need the perseverance to get through. Same thing as the willpower. It's that perseverance, that's the dogged determination in your head to say, I'm going to do this no matter what, right? You need patience, another principle, because the patience, it says to you, well, day one is not going to be really good, right? You know, day one might be great for you, right? It might be, you might have the willpower, you might have the thing in your head where you're saying, I really believe in myself now, I really need to do this, right? I had so much fucking pain yesterday or the day before with this thing, right? Or I've had so much pain leading up to this that I've got the motivation to do this now, right? That's the patience that you need. Comes on the days when things start to get overwhelming. It might never come for you, right? You know, you might get your head into the right place, into the right groove, and you just might keep going, and there's no stopping you. But on those days where you do feel crap, you do feel like you need to back off a little bit, that's when you need to have the patience, right? You need to also have positivity. Positivity is not looking at things through rose-tinted glasses, not looking at things that, you know, might never happen and go, well, you know, like, the shit's all hitting the fan here, but I'm going to put a blinder on, I'm not going to look at it. Right? That's not positivity. I'm talking about positivity is you look for the shining light in front of you. You look towards the goal that you want to achieve. You look towards, you know, goals don't have to be huge, big things. I love big goals, right? I like setting myself goals that are really scaring me in the moment, right? Because I know that in order to reach that goal that's scaring the crap out of me, I've got to go through all these little steps, and those little steps are not scaring me, right? But you can have a goal which is just to get to 30 days. You can have a goal which is just to get to a week, and then you get past that week. You can have a goal which is to spend the money that you would be spending in that month on something better, right? You can have just a small goal that you're looking forward to, right? You can have a goal where, you know, if you've got into trouble, that you're gradually getting yourself out of that trouble, right? And you're working towards something better, right? So, you know, it's all these little things. The final thing that I'd say with, in terms of the basic principles, yeah, and these are not all the basic principles, but the final thing for this video would be that you've got to have 100% responsibility. Pure and simple, right? No matter what you do, there is nobody else outside of you that is responsible for you, right? There's nobody else outside of you that should really give a shit about what you're doing to yourself, right? Even the people that are closest to you, right? It's your body. It's your life. Now, your life might impinge on other people's lives a bit, but most of these people can take a detour and go off in another direction and leave you where you are, right? That happens time and time and time again. But at the end of the day, the crux of responsibility, 100% responsibility, is that you are able to respond, right? No matter what happens, you are 100% able to respond. And then when something else happens, you're 100% able to respond to that, right? That's your ability to respond, right? Your responsibility. That's what it all boils down to. If you've got 100% responsibility and you can't turn around and go, well, I gave in this week because, right? I gave in yesterday because. And it's always because something outside of you, right? Or it's because something inside of you, your thoughts and your ability, your thoughts and your, these are the thoughts that at the end of the day, it's one conflict. You've got one side of you that's going, I want to do this, I want to push through. And the other side of you that's saying, yeah, come on, give in, we can go out and we can start again next week. See, that's your 100% responsibility. You can't blame anything else. You can't blame anybody else, right? That's where it all boils down to. So I'm going to leave it for there. This is getting into a longer video. So, it's not about quitting drinking alcohol unless you want it. That's what it's, you want it to be about. Because at the end of the day, it's all about trying to start at this starting position and move towards something else. And the more you move towards something else, the more you leave alcohol behind you. I'm going to leave it there. Take care of yourself. If you want to sign up for the Alcohol Mastery newsletter, it's over on the website. We've also got a starter pack. There's a few videos that we'll send you out each day. We've also got the Mastermind coaching program that's available on the website now. You can get that for $1 trial. We've got different courses and all that kind of stuff. It's all over on alcoholmastery.com. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again. Onwards and upwards. Bye bye now.